This morning, the Supreme Court recognized that the Constitution guarantees marriage equality. In doing so, they've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law. Those countless, often anonymous heroes, they deserve our thanks. They should be very proud. America should be very proud. Thank you.
We decided, we'd been together, we met in 1999 at a bar, and had been together for 10 years. And we'd always said that we would get married when it was legal in Arkansas. He was insistent that we wait. And when California, when the judge passed, or the judge Vaughn said that California had to allow it, we decided that that it would sweep sort of the rest of the country, and so we just sort of said, it's time, we're going to go ahead and do this. It was the first summer Massachusetts actually allowed out-of-state people to marry, same-sex couples to marry, so we knew that that was happening, which required going to Martha's Vineyard, applying for a license, waiting 5 days, and then going back to get married. I don't think people understand what it's like to be a political pawn. And that's such a weird thing to have to be. And so, when we do it with African Americans, we do it with, undocumented workers, and we did it with us. And it's such a weird thing. And it was, again, for once, I kind of felt like I'm not a pawn anymore. I mean, I still am, but at least I'm a pawn and get married.
Even though the Supreme Court has issued its ruling, I hate to say that I don't think the issue is still settled. I think you have a lot of people who still oppose it, and we're still going to see some struggles in the coming years, but I do feel like we're moving in the right direction. If the government is going to be in the business of marriage, I don't see how we can deny marriage to anyone.
They violated the law, because I think that eventually this would have happened anyway. I don't agree with it, but I think eventually where society was headed, that in a decade or two, that we were headed here, but it would have been done the right way. It would have been done by your generation. It would have been done by citizens electing legislators who passed the law.
And we're not issuing marriage licenses today.
The Supreme Court denied your say.
We are not issuing marriage licenses today.
Based on what?
I would ask you all to
Why are you not
go
issuing
ahead
marriage licenses?
She's a public servant, and that's her job, is to serve the public, and I'm the public. And so you've got to obey those laws. If you can't, go by, again, the president puts his hand on the Bible and swears to uphold the Constitution. Again, public servants do that, and if she can't go with what the Constitution says, then tough.
If that's truly somebody's position and they really don't feel comfortable in that position, that's fine, but I don't think they have the right to prevent other people from exercising this legal right that they've now been given. I think you did see some people who voluntarily stepped down from the job, and I commend them for that. I respected it, people like Kim Davis, that was kind of an extreme situation that you don't want to see.
I want to give God the glory. His people have rallied, and you are a strong people. We serve a living God who knows exactly where each and every one of us is at. Just keep on pressing.
Are we then going to come back, turn things upside down, and then say, if you don't conform now to what we say, you can no longer serve? And that's exactly what's being said, is if you don't conform to what we say, you can no longer serve, which then of course would shut a whole opinion. That means I'm not qualified to serve. That means most of this legislature is not qualified to serve. And so then how is that equal? I don't think we're even talking about equality. I think we're talking about we're going to have our way no matter what.
Now what's funny is the Democratic Party is all of the presidential contenders wholly supported, right? And now it's the Republicans who are split on that thing, and that's clearly a victory when it's all over with. So I really think it's going to play a larger role in the Republican primary than it is in the Democratic primary. I just don't see any who are really super pro it, but you've got kind of the Huckabees and Santorums and people who kind of are really, no, it's a horrible thing. And then the Trumps, who are sort of where Obama and Hillary and those kind of people were 8 years ago.
I'm confused about what religious freedom is supposed to be and what's supposed to be, what equality is supposed to be. It seems that equality, I'm all for everybody being treated the same and equal. I think, I've been clear as much of my culture as I think homosexuality is wrong. And by, this idea then to call me a homophobe, which is insulting, as if, I've got 2 first cousins that are homosexuals. It doesn't, I think stealing is wrong. I'm not afraid of thieves, and especially when you, as a son of a preacher, you can't take the scripture. If we go to that side of it, you can turn it upside down. It still says what it says.
I think that's a very difficult question. I think part of the problem is that we do try to draw a line, and I think it really depends on the issue and the circumstances and the people involved. I think there's really more of a spectrum, and it can be very tough, quite frankly, especially in politics, to kind of figure out where those boundaries are. I think it's unfortunate sometimes we do just try to draw a clear line, because sometimes it doesn't exist.